I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
Hello everybody, Dave here for the next episode of Dave Gets Shaftheadgrip, where it's early, at least it's early for me. I think I've got about 6 hours sleep-ish, which is a lot for me. But yeah, so I've been awake since about 8, which people are hearing that and go, well, I'm already at work, I'm already at school, but well, yeah, well, I'm not. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit achy today. I'm tired, my eyes are hurting. It's too bright, it's too sunny. Interestingly, contrasting lights. That's wrong. Going from dark to light. So, for example, over here, it's nice and sunny. Over there is my living room, and it's dark. So that contrast, that's what I was on about. Contrast of lights is messing with my eyes a bit. Anyway, we're on to the 5 iron. So, take a quick look for the damage. As I mentioned at the end of the last video, we've got a bit of a chunk. It's not too bad. Can't really see it on there. Where is it there? So yeah, it's only minor. That should come up quite easily. I think the face is going to have quite a bit of damage on it. We shall see, and I think the back's going to have a lot as well from the marks that I can see. I think we're in for a bit of a ball ache there. So, the only thing to do really is to make a start and get going. So, cue the music and dance. for an update, where we have, for now, finished the 5-iron. Again, tricky one this. Also, even though it might look just as messy as before, it has actually been quite a few days since I did some on this. I did have to take a break. But yeah, bit of a tough one. I ended up using some 150 grit sandpaper because there was a considerable amount of damage on this. There was not much on the face. The little dent that was on the leading edge, no problem. The top, the back, the neck, the edge, so much damage that I have worked on it loads, and there is still quite a bit of damage on the back. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I've managed to pretty much clean all the damage off the top. I did use the sander, you've seen me doing that a lot, but I'm still trying to be a bit careful with that because it would be very easy to mess up the shape of the club. So I've kind of been using that to clean an area, see the damage, and then work the damage by hand, so that I can be a little bit more precise with it. Also, you may have seen at the end there, I went to using 1000 grit sandpaper on the face. A couple of reasons. I wanted to see what it was like, but also on each of the clubs so far there have been certain areas, like on the back, this bit here and this bit here, where it's been difficult to really clean it up. Even using the sander, I thought that bosh it didn't. So a bit annoying. And on the face, there's sort of this corner, and then in the edge here, where it seems to be keeping marks. So when I'm polishing it up, when I'm brushing it up with a Dremel, it's leaving darker patches there. It means there's still some finish there, it's not quite cleaned up. And as much as I worked it, I couldn't get rid of the bloody thing. Even using the sander, I couldn't seem to get it. So I kind of went down the route of maybe it needs a finer sand, which is why I tried the 1000 grit. Also, my pads are starting to get a bit worn out now. I may need to try and pick up some others. They're not expensive anyway. Now, as soon as I used the 1000 grit sandpaper, it did give a very different look to this. You may not notice it, but I was able to notice it as I was working it. The difference in the colour of the metal, the reflection on the metal, was vast. So when it comes to polishing, like finishing the clubs, we are going to go to a finer sand on those. Okay, let's then give our side-by-side comparison as we've been doing. So on the back, so we've got 5-iron, 4-iron, so this one's next, and as you can see, nice and shiny. Show that. So the neck's nicely cleaned up, and the back, nice reflection on there, nothing on this one. Onto the face. So yeah, a lot of different on the face, even the leading edge. Sorry, that's the leading edge. But yeah, so much better looking, and very happy with it again. I'm buggered. So I'm just going to take a quick look. Well, I was going to say surprisingly, I expected the most damage to be on 6-7 irons, and they did have. They had deeper damage. So for example, on the leading edge, they had really big chunks out of them. What has surprised me, but probably shouldn't, is that these lower clubs actually have a lot more of the little bits of damage. And I would guess maybe it's because people struggle to use these lower lofted clubs. They're perhaps hitting the ground a lot more, or maybe it's the surfaces they're hitting balls off. But so for example on here, there's a patch there that's a bit more silver than the rest, but that's all damage. So when that gets cleaned up, it's just going to expose where all the damage marks are. So yeah, bit of a ball ache really. So again and again on the face, I mean there's a few small nicks on the edge, but again, like I say, on the face it may not look like it, but there is a lot of damage on there. And again on the top, now I know I tried on the 5-iron to show the difference of the top here. You know what I'm going to do, right, just to try and show you, let's get some 150. Okay, so just quickly do this by hand. So that sort of leading edge, it doesn't look like, I keep calling it leading edge, it's not the top. The top of it doesn't look like it's got that much damage, but this is where I find out it's not going to show up for me. It doesn't take long when sanding it to then be able to see where there are darker marks. Now I can't really see it too well, but so all of these bits that are darker that you can still see, that's all damage. That's all indentations, and obviously that's all stuff that you don't initially see, and that's why you may see me working a lot on some of the bits. So like with the 5-iron, the back of it was so damaged. There's so many marks appeared, and I think this will be the same. But anyway, I thought I'd show you that. Either way, I'm happy with the progress. I'm absolutely buggered now, so I'm going to disappear, and when we can, we'll get on to the 4-iron. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again soon on the next episode of Dave Gets Shaftheadgrip. See you in a bit.